Okay, so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how to edit your pictures that you've brought into your Google Drive using some third-party apps. So Google has a whole bunch of third-party apps that are really powerful and free. Now, in this course, we've been using Photoshop, which by far is way better and way more advanced. But the reality is there's a lot of free Chrome apps now that you can get that kind of work like apps on your cell phone. So those are really awesome, and let's look at them. So in this assignment, I want you to use two of them. And so how do you go and get them? Well, the first thing you're going to have to do is, because they're not actually installed on your Google Drive, all right? So whenever you set up your Google Drive, it comes with a standard set of features like docs, slides, sheets, and all this stuff that we've used a little bit. But if you want to go get some of the photo editing apps, you have to go get them. Here's an important thing you need to be aware of. There's some things that work with Google Drive and Chrome Marketplace, and there's some things that don't. So the ones I want you to use are the ones that work in Google Drive. Why does that matter? It's because when you work on a picture that's in your Google Drive, and then you open that app, edit it, you save it, and it saves right back into your Google Drive. So you don't have to download it and re-upload it. That's so useful for a student. Like, that saves you work. Because in the old way, the thing I don't like about Photoshop, you still have to download it, upload it, and one of the things students always have a hard time with is they lose a file because of that. Even though I try to teach you not to lose stuff, it happens. So what you're going to have to do, and mind you, I probably already have it installed. So you click on the Create button, and here's where the magic starts to happen. You go down here. You see where it says Connect More Apps? Well, that's where you usually click, and that'll find the ones that work with Google Drive. I'm going to just click to see if I have. This is the one I want you to add, Pixlr Express. Okay, so normally I would click on Connect More Apps, and they're kind of in order of the most important. Here's the other one I want you to add. So I told you I want you to use two. For our assignment, all the shots that were, you know, like extreme long shot, mid shot, and all that, I want you to edit them with Pixlr Express, which is over here. And how do you know I have it installed? Because you see a little check mark, okay? And if ever you want to get more information, you click on it, and you can read what this app does. And you can also see the ratings, just like you would on an iPhone or on an Android phone, to see if it's a good app or whatever, see what people are saying. And the Picmonkey, I want you to use Picmonkey to edit the different angles that you took, you know, a high and low angle. And the reason why I want you to try both, just because both are really great, and maybe you'll like one more than another. And they're very different. I think Picmonkey's a little bit more in detail, but it's up to you to figure that out, I suppose. So I am going to actually open. Well, let's pick a picture first. I'm going to click this picture because I'll pretend that's the one I want to edit. And I'm going to go here. Where is it? Pixlr Express. I'm going to click on it. Create and share. Okay, so here it comes. So I'm going to browse. Now it should just be opening. I do something wrong here. Oh, I know what I did. Okay, I apologize. See how what I had done here is I clicked and I opened it over here. That's only if I want to edit on the desktop. If I actually want to edit this picture right here, you see how I clicked on it? I click open this picture, and what it's going to do is show all the apps that I can open that picture with. Now this is a JPEG, so it's showing me all the apps that can open JPEGs. So obviously Pixlr Express and Picmonkey are there. There's actually another one, the kids, I'm not going to get you guys to use it though, okay? Pixlr Express. Let's stay on the same page for now. So what it's going to do now is it's going to open that picture so that I can do my edits in it. So it's going to load the image. Now one thing that you need to understand is you can only load one picture at a time. This is a major disadvantage as far as I'm concerned. And that's why in the grade 11 class I get them to use Lightroom, because it's just better at managing. Now I want you to look down here. There's a whole bunch of things that you can do. Now, what I ask you guys to do is do some adjustments, okay? And I'm going to talk about adjustments in a second, because usually when you bring in photos, I know that you guys do all these funky effects with your photos and on your iPhones and all that. The truth is, often for photos that you're going to use for like the assignment you have to do, you don't want, I'm not asking for all these weird effects. I want to just have the photo, and I want you to optimize the photo. That means make it look as good as you can. And just so you know, there's some rules to follow, but the reality is it's sort of in the eye of the artist sometime. Okay? Effects, well, there are things like, you know, a filter, like in Photoshop. So I'll just click here and apply this one. And if I click apply, you see all the filters I have here? Now, I'm not asking you to do this necessarily, because I kind of want the pictures well, in fact, in your prezi, they need to look like the picture of that person. If you make it so blurred I can't tell it's a long shot, there's a problem, right? So I just want you to know those things are all there. So I'm going to X this. Okay, I'm going to click cancel, and I'm back to this screen. Overlay. So an overlay is kind of like, it's sort of a similar to filter, but it puts like a watermark or something on top of the picture. I don't really want that for this assignment, unless you can find one that doesn't make the person invisible. Like, you know, if I click on this, I don't know, I don't think Mr. Buck would like that. You know, cool, but not necessary for this assignment. All right. Border, I did ask you to put a border. Okay, you'll notice in the Google Share doc that it asks you to put a border. One of the things the students sometimes like to put is a sticker. So let's say you want to use a little sun. Let's click on it. And, you know, you can enlarge whatever. Again, not really that useful for this assignment. Okay? Now here's something you can add. You'll notice that I asked in the Google Share doc that you should tell me what shot it is and what effect you put on it. Now you could do it right here, and I strongly recommend that you do it here, okay? Because you might forget what you did when you did it in Photoshop. One of the things I asked is that if you applied like 6 adjustments, only put 2 of them or 3 of them on the photo, you know, to explain only 2. You don't need to explain all of them. Everybody get that? So maybe you're making 6 adjustments, but you don't need to explain them all, okay? Now what I want to do is talk about the adjustments panel, because this is true photo editing. All the other stuff is sort of glitzy, fun, and obviously the text is to put your information. You know, some of the tools that we're going to recognize from Photoshop, cropping, what does that do? It cuts out a part of the photo. Now you're not going to do this on your photos most likely, unless you took a photo that was supposed to be, you know, the person in the middle and it's all crooked. Resize is very useful. Remember, we talked about when you upload stuff to our school's drives, it's very small. So if you took really, really large photos, some of you might have to resize. Okay? Rotate, I doubt it. Autofix, well, you know, you could do that, but the whole point here is I'm trying to get you to learn how to do stuff. Vibrance is really powerful. Okay? There's a good chance you might want to play with the vibrance. A vibrance changes the tone of the picture without really affecting the tone of the skin. Okay, so let's see if it does anything to this photo. You see? And yet Mr. Buck's skin still looks like, because this is similar to saturation, except it takes into account the skin, which is pretty critical. You don't want to make them look like green or something. See, I don't like that. I prefer it over here. It looks nicer. I'm going to click apply. That effect is now there. Okay? Contrast. Blur, sharpen. What does sharpen do? I'm going to pick on sharpen here for a second. Sharpen makes things look a little sharper, because maybe you took the picture and it looks a little blurry. That happens sometimes, especially if you're using an iPhone. Now you're using good camera, so the odds are a lot less likely, but it makes everybody look a little bit more clear. Now I'll give you a sort of rule of thumb from photography. Usually, whenever you're taking a picture of a woman, they always suggest that you not overly sharpen their features, because women like to appear like they have soft skin. This is all aesthetics, okay? I'm just giving you the rule of thumb. While for men, it's sort of encouraged. Now, I'll leave that up to you. In your case, we're not printing this in a magazine, obviously. and the radius, which kind of focuses where the sharpening is going to happen. It sort of starts from the middle and works its way out. So I'm going to apply that. So I've got two effects already. Denoise is if the picture is grainy. Okay, this picture is not. You're going to see some of your pictures with red eye, obviously. Now this does not work nearly as well as the red eye in Photoshop, but maybe you want to play around with it. Teeth whitening, which is an effect that you can whiten and spot selected teeth. Okay, I don't need to do that here. Let's see, what else do I got here? Liquefy, no, that'll create an effect we don't want. History brush, doodle, add another image. Maybe you could do that, but not necessarily in this image. So really, that's pretty much what I'm going to do. Well, and here's the part you need to understand. So let's assume I'm done now. Now, maybe you guys are going to want to put your text in. Okay? Now, be aware some of the text is super funky and creative, but you need to make it small so it doesn't interfere too much with your photo. Because in this assignment, it's not about showing me how cool you can make it. It's just give me the information. Okay? So when you click on fonts, make sure that the size, is, if you can select it, is over here. That's the color. I didn't even know if you can select the size of the font on this. I can't see it. So just be careful. If ever you notice all the fonts are monstrous, then just write them in on your prezi, and that's good enough. Okay? Now I'm ready to, and this is the thing, I'm saving and replacing this image. So what it's doing right now is it's saving it on my Google Drive. So when I go and open this again on my Google Drive, all the adjustments are there. What I'm going to encourage you to do for your assignment is save as a copy, okay? Just because I want you to, and it'll save the same file name, it'll say copy of, because I want you to have the before and after pic, okay? I'm going to probably ask you to put the before and after in the prezi, just so I can see the effect, all right? It's not hard to do as long as you do it now when you're doing the editing, okay? So I'm going to save a copy. And I usually just go like, it gives you the option, that's new, before it just saved it automatically. I'm going to write copy of Control Z. Actually, that's not what I want. Anyways, of this picture. Try to keep the name of that file in there, okay? I kind of did a little boo-boo here. Keep the name of the file. In this case, I'm just going to, just for time's sake, save it anyways. It'll save in the same folder. So there it is, and that's pretty much it. So that's how you edit in Pixlr Express. So I'm going to click Done.